Hi guys, it's Dr. Gibson and welcome back. Today we'll be talking about how to lose weight. And basically we'll be looking at practical tips that you can implement starting today or tomorrow that will help you in your weight loss journey. So if you struggle with losing weight or trying to maintain a healthy weight, or if you've tried diets and just find that all this stuff is overwhelming and just too restrictive for you, this video is for you. It is considered that weight or gaining weight is a normal part of aging. So especially for middle-aged women, it's expected that we will gain on average 1.5 pounds per year, which is about 15 pounds in 10 years and 30 pounds in 20 years. Now, I'm not down for that. Men as well have issues with weight gain as they get older, so losing muscle mass and gaining fat is a natural part of the aging process for men. Of course, the fat that we gain, generally, it's not in the places that are really attractive. So we're talking about fat gain around the mid-abdomen or on the chest for men, the thighs and the upper arms for women. And it's really not attractive fat. So how do we combat this weight gain? It's important for us to recognize this. We do live in an obesogenic environment, and what this means is that our environment promotes obesity. There are so many negative influences in our day-to-day lives that affect how we eat and move. Just think about the ease of getting processed foods. They're just about the cheapest thing on the menu, your 99-cent burgers and fries and sodas and ice cream. And healthier foods tend to be more expensive. And in terms of our movement, we have escalators, we have moving walkways, we have delivery, we have pickup, so many things that allow us to move even less. So we are constantly fighting against the environment that we live in right now to maintain a healthy weight. Remember that exercise plays less of a role in this. It's really not that factor that helps us to lose weight in most instances. As you may have noticed, many people go to the gym for hours on end and still can't lose weight. It's an important part of being healthy, but not necessarily the factor that allows us to lose weight. So what is that factor that we need in order to lose weight? Well, it all has to do, once again, with how we eat and what we eat. So let's talk a little bit more about a healthy diet. We will focus on sustainable changes that you can make to your diet that will help you to lose weight or maintain a healthy weight. So here's a quick summary. Know what you have tried and failed at, or just something that really didn't work for you. Don't jump into a new diet without planning ahead. Don't try to commit to something that is so restrictive to you that you don't have a chance to stick to it. Don't be extreme with changes you make in your diet. Take baby steps. Form small habits that you can build on. And don't make diet choices that leave you feeling hungry or angry all the time. There has to be balance. This has to be a lifetime investment. If you have time, you can also consider doing calorie counting. That has never worked for me, but some people are really dedicated to it, and you can use free apps like MyFitnessPal or apps with subscriptions such as Noom that have additional perks, such as text messages to encourage you to lose weight or recipes that may be really helpful in this whole process. Also remember that when you eat out, apart from just choosing healthy meals, just remember that the portion sizes oftentimes are huge. And basically, they may provide the calories that you need for the entire day. So what you consider is taking home some of your eat out food or sharing your plate with your significant other, which might be fun and romantic as well. My husband and I actually usually share a plate when we go out, and it just makes it a little bit more fun, kind of leaving something behind, like a piece of salmon or a tasty morsel behind for your significant other so they can have the last bite. So how do we start this process? First of all, analyze what you are eating now. Most of us underestimate how much junk we have in our diet. A lot of times you'll say, I only had one meal today, but the fact is that in between you may have had 15 snacks. So know what you eat. Get a food diary, just get a regular notebook and start writing down what you've eaten for the day. And take a look at it. Notice all the processed foods, the sugary foods, the sugary drinks, highlight them, circle them in red, because we all know they're not good for us. And remember too that throwing away something that's healthy is a waste, but throwing away something that's bad for you is just getting rid of garbage. So don't think twice about doing this. You can also get some apps that can help you to count your calories. And of course, there are certain apps that you can also use to determine how much calories you need to eat per day in order to lose a certain amount of weight. And these can all be found online and generally for free. So let's summarize step 1. Know what you eat. Next, keep a food diary. Consider counting your calories. Consider finding out how many calories you should be eating per day to lose weight. So what's the next step? Now you have your food diary. You have highlighted or circled all the foods that you know aren't good for you. And there are items that are easy to get rid of that provide a ton of calories per day and are highly processed. So your sugary foods, your sodas, your juices. Then you can look at your burgers and fries and fried chicken, biscuits, all the simple carbs that you really need to cut down on. And you can decide which of these items you're going to completely get rid of or just indulge on once in a while. So if you enjoy having certain meals with your family, just plan for this once a week, for example. Or if you hang out with friends and like to have certain drinks or food, then plan for this as well. And if this is really just too complex for you, you don't have time to have a food diary or to highlight stuff and decide what to remove from your diet, just think about eating healthy 80% of the time. So there's one day in the week where you might indulge a little bit, but for majority of the week, you should be eating healthy foods. So let's recap step 2. Cut back on unhealthy food. Pick your time to indulge. Have your cake and eat it only occasionally. Choose healthy foods 80% of the time. Take home your eat out food. Share your food with your other half. Reduce alcohol. Keep track and weigh weekly. Have you ever been on a diet and suffer from being hungry all the time? There are easy ways to try to curb hunger when you're trying to eat healthy meals. First step, try to drink 1 to 2 glasses of water at least half an hour prior to eating. You can also preload with low-calorie foods, so try a salad and just be careful with the dressing. You can also eat some healthy soups prior to your main meal, such as lentil soup. Again, be careful with the soups that are full of cheese and cream. They are not low-calorie preloaders. Also, how you eat your plate is very important. So start out with your vegetables, which offer all that fiber, and follow with your plant or animal protein, And lastly, leave the carbs. This will help to dampen that sugar spike and help to reduce the amount of insulin that's secreted with your meal. Remember that not everyone can metabolize carbs efficiently. A high carbohydrate diet can lead to elevated triglycerides, insulin resistance, and diabetes. And just remember that certain people need a much lower proportion of carbohydrates in their plate. So if you've tried to eat a regular healthy plate and have found that you have gained weight and have not been able to lose weight, you can try a low carb diet or a keto diet, of course, the healthy version of this, to see if it will boost your metabolism and help you to lose weight. So let's recap step 3. Don't be hangry. Drink 1 to 2 glasses of water half hour prior to your meals. Preload with a low calorie food that have less than 100 calories, such as your salads, your veggies, your soups. And when you do get to your plate, eat your veggies first, then your protein, and leave your carbs for last. Try a low carb diet if you haven't seen much success with a balanced plate. So let's talk about when you want to eat. The time of day that you eat does affect how you metabolize food. There was actually a study done by Brigham's Women in Boston in which they took only 16 obese patients, but they actually put them into 2 different study groups. One in which they were eating 9 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 5 o'clock, and the other group in which they were eating 1 o'clock, 5 o'clock, and 9 p.m. They actually showed that eating a later meal resulted in increased weight gain. And this had to do with changes in circadian and obesity-related gene expression. There was decreased levels of leptin, which is that hormone that suppresses hunger. Therefore, there was more hunger. Also, they noted that in these patients, they were not able to metabolize fatty acids as well and actually tended to store fat. Their metabolism during waking hours was also slower than the group that ate earlier in the day. Recognize as well that this study actually incorporated time-restricted eating. So these participants were only eating for 8 hours a day. And this is also something that we can incorporate in our diet to facilitate weight loss. And of course, if you're going to try time-restricted eating, please make sure to do it gradually. Having goals each week is helpful. Just cutting down your eating time by 1 hour to reach that goal of 8 to 10 hours of eating time is really helpful. We don't have to be drastic in our changes. Everything should be in moderation. So let's recap step 4. Eat at the right time. Try time-restricted eating. Aim for an 8 to 10 hour eating period. Remember that late eating equals weight gain, so try to avoid this if you can. Eat breakfast like a king, lunch like a prince, and dinner like a pauper. Let's move along to the next step. Let's talk about practical tips to prepare our meals. Cut your veggies, freeze them, cook your veggies and freeze them. Buy fresh salads at a supermarket. For example, Publix has great freshly prepared salads that are really worth their weight in greens. Make a grocery list and pick up if you can't resist all the tempting processed foods. Batch cook and prep your food. Meal plan on your days off. Let's talk a little bit about exercise. So we've already discussed that exercise really doesn't have a big impact on weight loss, but it's important for the health of the human being, as well as important for maintaining the weight. So try to get some sort of weight lifting or resistance training at least 2 to 3 times per week. Remember that With aerobic exercise, especially if it's an intense aerobic exercise, it can increase your cortisol, and some of us already have high cortisol levels due to continued stress from day to day. If you don't have a gym membership, you can work out at home. There are multiple YouTube videos which have yoga, weightlifting. Get yourself a kettlebell, get yourself some dumbbells. These are easy to accomplish. So you don't have time. Well, try to do 10 minutes a day. You can get up early, do some push-ups, or as soon as you get home, walk around the neighborhood. If you don't have time for 10 minutes in your life, you're going to have to reevaluate what you're striving for. So let's recap step 6. Incorporate some activity. Lift weights. You don't need a gym subscription. Use YouTube, get a kettlebell, get some free weights, do some free yoga, and be careful with intense and excessive aerobic activity. And remember, this is not just about losing weight. Making these changes will make you healthier in the long term, and hopefully will make sustainable changes to your diet. Most diseases are not genetic. It's a matter of how we live. So if we can sit down and make changes, we can influence the health of our husbands and wives and children, and maybe for generations to come. So our final step is step 7. Make health a lifetime commitment. Make eating a ritual. Enjoy eating with your family. Enjoy your food. Chew slowly. Always think about how the food you're eating will make you feel better. Once again, I'm Dr. Gibson. I hope you enjoyed these tips today, and I hope it will be helpful to you to implement these changes even starting today. If you enjoyed what you heard, please like my video or subscribe below. Otherwise, just join me next week when we'll find another health topic to discuss. So until next time, bye.